So we are still in the revision series, and the purpose of the revision series is to help you fall in love with revision and the wonderful techniques, because revision will absolutely transform your reality now. Today I had another video planned, and then a kind of war broke out between Israel and Iran and then the US, and it was all looking like it was all looking pretty crazy there for a second. And I thought, you know what, we have to talk about revising history in terms of revising global events that seem to play out over and over again, and which we are seeing playing out over again, because war is nothing more than a memory that is replaying itself over and over after generation, and it continues until we revise and transmute the state of consciousness that causes war. That is what we are doing today. My name is Hedley, and I am a Law of Assumption coach, passionate about making the teachings of Law of Assumption as practical as possible so that you can apply them to your life and get results that will absolutely blow your mind. So if you'd like to know more about me or my offerings, including one-to-one Law of Assumption coaching, my courses, and my book, I Am Money, you will find all of that in the box below this video or at my website, youaretheone.com.au. And if you feel inclined, please subscribe to my channel. And if not, that's cool too. All right, let's get into it. This video is a bit of a doozy, so I gotta be fueled up. I have been thinking about how do I communicate this? Revising global events, revising history. This is where we have to expand our capacity in terms of these teachings, that this is not just about you manifesting what you want into your reality. This is about you being the infinite commander of what you are observing in your reality, including global events. You are not powerless over what is happening out there. And I want this video to be a very practical way that you can remember who you are as you are observing the events that are happening out there. Consciousness is the one and only reality. Now, really keep that in mind as we are talking about global events that affects people in different ways depending on the perspective that you are experiencing them from. So if you are in the war zone, chances are you're not going to be watching this video. You're going to be looking for food, shelter, clothes. You're just focused on keeping yourself alive at a very third dimensional level. Then there's another level back where you were born into perhaps a war zone and you experienced war at kind of an arm's length, or your parents experienced war at a close level. And then there's another level back, like myself, who was born in a country like Australia, where I have no direct experience with war, but I am aware of war. And therefore, by being aware of war, I have the consciousness of war within me. So every single person born into this third dimensional reality has the consciousness of war within them, is aware of war, because war has been going on as long as humans have been on the planet. So we have all been born into the state of consciousness associated with war, because we are all aware of war. And that's why I said at the beginning, war is a memory. It exists in all of us. We have all learned about war. We are all aware of war, even if it was just through a textbook at school. Now, obviously, we've had a lot of wars going on lately. We've got Ukraine and Russia, we've got Israel and Palestine and everything that's going on in Gaza. We've got India and Pakistan. We've got a bunch of wars going on, and the natural response to war is to resist it. No, I don't want it. That's awful. That's terrible. Look what's happening to those people. No, no, no. We want peace. Let's get peace. Let's fight for peace. Let's walk and march for peace. So there's an attachment to peace and there's a resistance to war. Now that resistance brings war closer, it keeps it alive, and that attachment to peace keeps it moving further away, because resistance brings it closer, attachment pushes it away. If you are just observing war at the level of third dimension and you are not doing anything with what you are observing, then you are letting reality inform your consciousness with the same consciousness that's being caused by history, which means nothing changes. If the observer doesn't change anything, then what they are observing cannot change. You, as the infinite I am of your reality, are the observer of your reality. So therefore, you have capacity to change what you are observing. Change does not happen out there. It begins in here with the observer, including global events, including wars that you have absolutely nothing to do with. So then we can ask, well, what is war and what is the purpose of war? Because from where I'm sitting and from where you're sitting, we can look out and go, well, that doesn't look like it has much purpose at all. But of course, everything in reality absolutely has divine purpose. So what is the purpose of war? But even more importantly, what is the divine purpose of war? In order to answer that question, it helps to go to the etymology, because the etymology is the study of the origins of language. And when we trace right back to where a word originates, we're often met with the definition that is more aligned with consciousness rather than the definition we're probably more used to in reality. And just on that point, the word history and the word revise are very similar. So history means to see. To revise means to see again. History is not fixed. It is bound to the choice of the observer. So let's have a look at the etymology of war and get to the bottom of this little mystery that we were all born into. The late Old English, large-scale military conflict. So I want you to keep in mind the word conflict. We're going to come back to that. From Old North French, war, difficulty, dispute, hostility, fight, combat, war. So these are all definitions that we're all familiar with, but we're going to keep moving down further into the origins, from Proto-Germanic to confuse to perplex. So to confuse or mix up. So if we look at the word war, from its origins, as in the origins of the word, it is to confuse. War is to confuse or confusion. So now let's have a look at the word confusion. Okay, 1300s, to overthrow or ruin, disorder, confusion, shame. Now we're going further back, 11th century, a mingling, a mixing, a blending, confusion, disorder. And to pour together, again, to confuse, confound. Notice these words confuse, conflict, confound, all begin with the word con. The word con is a word-forming element meaning together, with. This is really important because this is going to help you understand the deeper meaning, the deeper purpose of war, not at the third dimensional level, which looks very purposeless and a complete waste of time and life and money and everything else. Beneath that is a deeper purpose, and it has to do with this word con, together with. Let's look up the word fusion. 1550s, act of melting by heat, an outpouring, an effusion. To melt, meaning union or blending of different things, the state of being united or blended. Okay, so war is a coming together for the purpose of being united. The union or blending of different things. The union or blending of different things. Now, if we take a look at the word peace, mid-12th century, freedom from civil disorder, internal peace of a nation, peace, reconciliation, keep in mind that word con, silence, permission, compact, agreement, treaty of peace, tranquility, the absence of war, to fasten, a pact, which is a binding together. So these two words actually mean the same thing which is a coming together, a unification. One is with heat and one is cool. The energy of war is hot, is heat, and the energy of peace is cool, it's slow. It's the opposite. Also, the word conflict is similar. Con means together, and flict means to strike. So coming together and strike also means heat. So what does this all mean? Let's take a step back to what is consciousness. So consciousness is the one and only reality. Another name for consciousness is I am. So I am is the infinite everythingness, the unconditioned awareness where all states, all possibilities, all potentials exist. They all exist in I am. I am is expressed through you as the limited embodied state of I am. The one desire that I am has is to know itself through you. Keep in mind, I am is everything. I am is whole. I am is all of it. And I am is being expressed through you. And I am has one desire, and that is to know itself through you, meaning to know all of itself and to unify itself through you. So at the third dimensional level, war is the rejection of the other. I'm this, I'm not that. I'm Christian, I'm not Muslim. Or I'm Muslim and I'm not Christian. Or I'm Palestinian, I'm not Israeli. I'm Jewish, I'm not Muslim. Whatever you are saying you are not is a rejection of your infinite I amness. Remember, I am has one desire, and that is to return to wholeness through the physical embodiment. I am will unify with itself either through war or through peace, because that is the nature of I am, is to return home to self. And as the observer of your reality, you are the one who decides how you unify with yourself, how you come home to self. It's up to you. So with this work, there are no sides. There is just I am. I am that I am. I am Israeli, I am Iranian, I am Muslim, I am Jewish, I am American, I am Christian, I am Palestinian. I am the infinite I am coming home to self through me. Now there's another layer to this, and it has to do with the law of polarity. So the law of polarity states that everything contains a positive and negative charge. I've spoken about this in a number of other videos, so I won't go into detail here, but it is just the same as the human body as it is with the global body. So in the body, when there is an excess of positive energy or an excess of positive ions, that has a negative impact on the human body, and that is where we see illness. It is the same for the global body, meaning war is a sickness, and that's because there is an excess of positive energy. And just like the human body, in terms of returning to neutrality and returning to health, requires a negative charge. You, as the observer of your reality, and you want to become a negatively charged conductor, you become a cooling force. You become a cooling energy, which means pulling back from the activities that create heat. Avoid getting into arguments or debates. Avoid picking sides. Coming back to self, coming back to I am, claim everything with I am, will actually create a negative charge by you intentionally becoming a negatively charged conductor. In response to what you are observing, you are helping to offset the energy. You are helping to offset that excess of positive energy. You are bringing the feminine into what you are observing. If you're not doing that, you're more likely going to be contributing to the heat. There's already way too much of it out there. We create the negative charge that is essential for bringing the heat of war down, to neutralizing. We cool, we bring down, we lower. And one of the most powerful ways to become a negatively charged conductor is to place I am in front of everything that you are observing. So when I'm watching the news, I'm putting I am in front of what I'm seeing, and then I'm rewriting that story. And you, as the infinite observer of your reality, have the choice to either see it as it is or to see it correctly through new eyes. In order to do that, you have to be in I am. I am will unify with itself either through war, through an excess of positive energy, through heat, or through peace and that cooling energy of claiming I am that I am. History from here on does not need to repeat itself, because when you are the infinite I am, you just claim everything and everyone as I am that I am, and you become the negatively charged conductor so that there cannot be any excess of heat. And therefore everything cools down, everyone cools down, and we can just continue on with our lives and enjoy being friends with that which appears different, but which really is a reflection of ourselves, helping us to come home to the wholeness of I am within ourselves. I am that I am. I am is all there is, and I am is coming home to itself through you. Thank you. I will look forward to seeing you in the next video. Have a wonderful week. Stay with yourself, stay with I am, and become that negatively charged conductor, and let's cool this shit down. I'll see you next week. Bye.